So I can finally let it fly. Okay, I feel unstoppable.
What is up, guys? It is the Sports Nerd Bradley Walker, and welcome to the Walker Report, part of In the Zone Sports Talk Radio, part of NGSC Sportscast. Remember the website. It's NGSC Sports for all your current sports content. What is up, guys? I know I've been out for 2 weeks. I've been on vacation, recharging the batteries and stuff like that. If you're wondering what my hat is, it's the state of Florida. That's the state of Florida flag. It's on my hat. I got the hat while I was on vacation. But that is the state of Florida, where I live and where I was born. We are sponsored, guys, by creatingzenspaces.com, the local choice in St. Petersburg, Florida, for house cleaning, organization, decluttering, and pet sitting. It's about finding the peace within you, adding comfort to your life. Remember, guys, Zen Spaces begins with you. Be kind to yourself and one another. You're also sponsored by Garrett's Designer Jewelry and Luxury Accessories. Illuminate your inner self, shatter the trendy norms, and open up your world to a newfound level of confidence and admiration. Garrett's Designer Jewelry and Luxury Accessories. Well, guys, we have a power pack show. I got a lot of stuff to get to. Obviously, we could talk about the last few weeks with the NFL and college football. Let me welcome in both of my great co-hosts. Gentlemen,
the adulation is undeserved, sir. The adulation is undeserved.
Okay.
Undeserved.
Hey, Bradley, welcome back.
Thanks, Lou. Thanks, guys, for letting me have a 2-week break.
How's your area, though? How's the area over there, though?
I'm sorry?
How's the area over there from the hurricane? You know.
I lost power here for just about a day.
What did you do?
But the area down in Fort Myers and Punta Gorda, there's still a lot of damage.
Right. I didn't know how you were affected by it, so you know.
Yeah, Lou, I'll be honest with you. We got lucky because it was supposed to hit us. What hit?
Right, that's what I thought.
Fort Myers was supposed to hit where I live. But again, speaking of that, in my state, there is a kind of a weird. No, I shouldn't say weird. It is a kind of a cool thing about the Seminole Indians that inhabited Florida for a long time. Supposedly, they buried their ancestors in Pinellas County, where I live.
Yeah.
And their spirits blow the hurricanes away because they don't want their spirit. They don't want their ancestors uprooted.
Right.
So they prayed to their gods that their ancestors would never be uprooted. Well, it's been over 100 years since my county has taken a direct hit from a hurricane. But our luck's going to run out sooner or later. Someday down the road, it's not going to.
Hopefully, a lot later.
Hopefully, a lot later. Hopefully, I'm older or I'm gone before it actually happens.
Well, still 10 years ago, Sandy hit this area. So
yeah. I'm gonna say, I mean, I can kind of relate a little bit to Hurricane Andrew that hit Homestead. In 1993. 92. Homestead was gone. I mean, it looked like the bomb had been dropped on the city. It was gone.
Right.
Andrew wiped it. And the funny thing is, Ian was about, I think, 2 or 3 miles an hour away from being a Category 5. It hit as a 4, but it got close to being a Category 5.
You don't mess with that.
Andrew was what Katrina was. So yeah, I mean, if those hurricanes get into the Gulf of Mexico, bad news.
Spin.
Yet water's consistently warm. There's no mountains in our state to knock it down. So
no.
There's nothing to break it up.
No. So we kind of hope that it runs over Cuba. Nothing against if anyone is listening in Cuba, but it hits the mountain ranges in Cuba and kind of kills it a little bit before it gets back up the coast. But how's everyone? How have you guys been doing, man? I mean,
missing you.
I appreciate that.
I finally recovered from that thing. So.
Oh, that's good, Lou. I'm happy to hear you are feeling better.
Yeah, but the side effects that were off. I mean, that third eye grew again. I mean, that was horrible. I even grew a tail for about a week. Oh, it was horrible.
That's cool
The
though.
same.
Eyes were bulging. Eyes
tail
were bulging.
fell off,
I turned to a werewolf. Oh, it was horrible. My own mother was like, "Oh my god, look what happened to you."
I'd rather be a werewolf than a vampire. So I feel you. I feel
Take
you.
your choice.
Vampires are better than werewolves.
Dark shadows.
I smoked my first cigar while I was on vacation. That was a cool experience. Finally took the plunge. I got some hostility from people on Facebook. I did. I got more hostility than I did people
From a cigar?
A few people tell me, "Hey, man, great trying new things," but I have people, "Oh, you're gonna get cancer. Oh, this and that." I'm like, I only had one. Chill out.
Yeah.
Chill the hell out.
I'm not smoking cigarettes. I'm not shooting drugs or snorting cocaine or anything. I mean,
Or
Right?
worst things I could be doing other than smoking cigars, but it is what it
A
is. I'll
cigar.
do it once in a while.
He barely even smoked it either. He smoked maybe a quarter of it and put it out.
Yeah.
He's not chain smoking them one right after the other like Winston Churchill or something.
I still have the cigar, by the way. I haven't even smoked it all the way yet. So there you go.
He's not out here like MJ, just chain smoking them, buying a $4,000 box cigars every month.
What happens
that won't be me. That won't be me. I can't afford to have that kind of.
No.
Yeah, no, can't afford that kind of hobby. No.
Right.
But you guys want to start? I have NASCAR stuff. I wanted to start there because the playoffs
let's
are
start there.
winding down, right? Am I correct?
Yeah, we got 3 weeks left.
Only 3. Wow.
And Bubba
I think
Wallace
it's 3.
did a race for
Yeah.
hitting Joey Logano. Is that correct?
Kyle Larson.
Larson.
Yeah, who did he hit? Who did
Kyle
Bubba
Larson.
Wallace? Oh, Kyle Larson. That's
Kyle
right.
Larson.
Yeah. So, talking a little bit about this on Gerald's show before we came on here, and the way I look at it is that, I get Kyle Larson overdrove the corner, and he's notorious for doing that.
Right.
He's had a bad habit of overdriving corner and just driving a mile over his head any damn way. And I get being upset and frustrated. We're less than 100 laps into the race, and Bubba's car is ruined. His day's done. Car ain't gonna drive worth shit. So, I get wanting retribution, revenge, whatever. Which you like for it. But he went too far. He overreacted. I would have no problem with him dooring him. Just absolutely dooring him. Just, turning left and just door slamming. You're going to ruin my day, I'm going to ruin your day. And, but what he did was he hooked him in the right rear and turned him right into the catch fence. Just straight up turned him head on into the wall. And in the process took out another playoff competitor, or took out playoff, because Larson and Wallace have both been eliminated, but it caught up Christopher Bell in the carnage. And the problem is the way I see it is like, you can't do that. I get wanting to fight a guy. I don't have a problem with punches. I don't have a problem with pushing, shoving, carrying on.
No.
What I have a problem with is sending someone in the dog leg, head on into the wall. That's what crossed the line for me. I don't care about the punches. I don't care about the little baby fight that they had in the infield after the wreck. That's not my problem. That's not my concern. You want to fight a guy, fight a guy. I don't care. What I have a problem with is hooking someone in the door and turning them in front of the field, and putting other people, putting them and others at risk, and wrecking yourself in the process too, because you're all pissed off because you got run because Larson overdrove the corner, and now your car's ruined, and you overreacted. So he gets to sit out. He gets time out for a week.
But you
And
said
he'll be back for Martinsville.
he was already out anyway for the playoff anyway. So what does it really matter now? It would hurt him more if he was still in it. It would hurt him more.
Right.
case. So, Joey Logano won in Vegas, right? Is that correct? Okay.
Right.
Yes. Should have had that.
And I did see something, Bud, that says NASCAR will introduce a wet weather package for short ovals. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Right.
That's interesting.
Martinsville, Richmond, New Hampshire, places like that for next year.
And then Kurt Busch is stepping away. Was that what I
Right.
heard?
Correct.
He's been out with the concussion issues, right? Hasn't he been?
Yeah, since Pocono. Or the Indian Road Course. I want to say it's Pocono.
I like how people get on social media and say concussions aren't serious, but then you see them popping up everywhere. Obviously, with Tua, we'll talk about that later on.
Right.
You know, and you wouldn't think that a guy would get a concussion driving a car. Well, that's bullshit too, because you're going 200 miles an hour and you hit a wall.
You're in the back end of the wall, and
Yeah.
My dad had a buddy. They went to the races in Michigan in the late '80s, and I was Sterling Marlin got into the wall, and his buddy was like, the term light contact loses all meeting at 150 miles an hour.
Yeah, I mean, people out there that don't think concussions are a problem
And-
need to check.
They are.
They are a huge.
Well, the thing about it is that concussions are kind of like a silent killer, because if you're not visibly concussed, like if you look at Tua, and you said we'll get into it a little bit later, but if you look at what happened with him, is he looked fine, he looks messed up, goes to sideline, gets checked, they clear him, he goes back into the game, he gets and they pull him out of the game, he goes into the next game and he gets hurt again. Concussions are such, they're hard to judge for the average person because we don't have a baseline for what an actual concussion is.
Right.
You've never experienced what a concussion feels like. If you've never gone through a concussion, you can look fine, you can look normal, and you'd be messed. Your brains could be scrambled eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, concussions are they're serious and they happen in every sport. I don't want to hear that they're just related to contact sports.
Not at all.
I mean, we can get one too. I mean, you could slip and fall and hit your head and get a concussion. I mean, you don't even have to be doing anything athletic.
Right. We can get a concussion on this show here. Well, maybe not.
I've had a concussion before, so I know what they feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you watch this show long enough, you'll get a concussion.
That's exactly true.
Yeah.
Watch your own risk, folks.
Yeah, I know, right?
Adam, watch it there.
But yeah, okay. So now,
And
lay
Adam,
this
by
out
the
for me
way,
there. Go ahead.
By the way, you and Adam missed the birthday surprise that James and Lou gave me on my show.
Cool.
Oh, what we missed?
They sung "Happy Birthday."
Yes, it is Gerald's birthday today,
It
ladies.
is Gerald's birthday.
It is Gerald's birthday today.
About 106 now.
No, actually, it's only about 96.
96. All right.
He took 10 years off. He took 10 years off.
Love you, bud. Love you, bud.
Right here, Adam. Right here.
Yeah, sure.
Right here.
Hey, well, you ain't getting any younger.
That's for damn sure.
Yeah, neither am I. I feel this one here.
Next
Yeah.
year, I'll be the big 5-0 next year.
I'm already there. So.
And you gonna quit counting after that?
Hey, I stopped counting after this one.
Yeah, that's right.
I stopped
right.
counting after 40.
I'm 39 and holding, like Jack Benny would say.
Yeah.
I'll be 40 next year. So there you go. I am 49. I'll be 40.
I turned 30 this year, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Lou, you and I are the oldest ones here.
I'm the elder statesman here.
Elder, definitely.
Yeah, there
And
you go.
also,
I don't know about the whole statesman part.
and also I do have some good news too. My grandbaby
Oh, yeah?
was born October the 16th.
Yes.
Congratulations, Gerald.
6 pounds, 11 ounces, 20 inches long.
Now is that for your? Now is that your son's wife or is that your daughter?
That's my son.
Okay, so your daughter-in-law.
Yeah. Well, hopefully soon to be my daughter-in-law.
Well, okay. Well,
But the baby was born and she had fluid on her lungs and a low oxygen level, so they had to send her up to a
I
hospital
see you.
that had a better NICU unit.
NICU.
Yeah. And as far as I know, she's still in the hospital as of right now. Hopefully she gets to come home pretty soon.
Okay.
Prayers, Cheryl, for her and your future daughter-in-law and your son. That you're.
Yeah.
My older nephew just turned 10 last week. Was in the NICU when he was first born. So.
I've had a lot of friends that have had kids in the NICU when they were first born, so it's all precautionary. Most of the time, it's precautionary. Those doctors are some of the best doctors in the world, and they'll do right by your kids. So.
And also another reason why they put her in the NIC unit because her mom hemorrhaged pretty good too after having her. So they did it as a precaution, and plus her oxygen level was.
So I don't know if you guys have been following the WWE, but according to CNBC.com, the stock in the WWE hit a 52-week high, even after the McMahon scandal. Go figure.
Yeah, you know why, don't you? You know why?
Why?
It's all due to Triple H.
Who has COVID, by the way? Read an
Don't be
article
real.
today. He's got COVID. He's stepping away from. He's been away, but down the road, I think we're all gonna get it. I think it's one of those common things where we're all gonna go through it one time.
Knock on wood.
Yeah.
I haven't got it yet.
Either have I.
Lucky you.
But yeah,
I think I had it. I never went and got tested, but I'm pretty sure I had it.
That's thanks to Triple H. Look what he's doing as head of creations for WWE now. He's bringing better matches back. He's bringing some of the old wrestlers back that left in the 2000s. He's bringing them back. Better storylines.
Yes.
Well, McMahon's still pushing the buttons. It's just Triple H is,
He's what they call revamping.
Revitalizing.
Well,
No,
actually, speaking of that, it was cool to see Bray Wyatt come back the other night. He was kind of interesting to see Bray cry. I've never seen a guy that is supposed to be a scary guy get into it. It's an acting thing. I know it's not real, but it's interesting to see them get emotional. It's like,
so real to me. Damn it.
The real me. Yeah, it's the real me.
That is another Triple H thing that he bought Bray Wyatt back.
The real me is this is the character you don't see. All the other characters I play, but you don't see this one. You never get to see the real me.
Right.
And then whatever happened, the lights go out, and then some evil thing is on the screen. So who knows how much we'll see if we'll see the evil Bray come back. I don't know how that's going to end up being, but
I don't know. I'm excited to see it because I like what Triple H is doing.
Yeah, he's taking it he's taking what Vince McMahon messed up. We all can agree McMahon messed up the WWE.
Oh yeah, big time.
No.
And look what Triple H is doing. He's gradually bringing it back. But then again, he's doing it with Stephanie's help. Do what, Adam?
I'm sorry, I'm struggling with the words. I know it's a talky bit, but I'm struggling with the words because I don't think Vince McMahon. I think Vince McMahon did what he thought was best for the company
At that time.
And I think that the PG era just what the PG era did was it changed wrestling. Wrestling went back to its roots. Well, and I think the thing about it is Vince McMahon was an older guy, right? And Vince McMahon didn't know what young people wanted. So he appealed to what was popular when he was a child. And that was safe, clean, technical wrestling. and we see it, and we've seen a lot of safe, clean, technical wrestling, and safe not in terms of physical, but in terms of content, right? There has been a lot of swearing, nudity, violence or excessive violence over the last decade and a half. When the brand shifted towards a more family friendly, getting feedback. Is that on my end? Okay, it seems to have cleared up. But a family friendly atmosphere that the WWE was trying to promote over the last decade or so, especially 2006 to 2008 when they shifted away from with the loss of WCW and the implosion of the indie scene in the early to mid 2000s, and you see we have WWE and then the All American rejects of nobodies, never wases, and talentless hacks running around places like TNA and Impact and Ring of Honor who have no star power, who can't carry a brand, and WWE has no competition, and so the product gets stale. And I think that's been the biggest problem for the last 15 years, is the product is stale.
And that's
And
where,
and
that's where Triple H comes in and refreshes it.
revitalizes the brands. And AEW being around, pushing the WWE to be more creative, to be more innovative, to be more inventive, is really helping, because up until the last 2-3 years, WWE didn't have any real competition.
No.
I mean, there was nothing out there. You Ring of Honor, Impact, New Japan, mid, so mid.
But when AEW came in, they started having all these good matches, cards, and bringing everything around. Everybody was like, okay, well, everybody started pulling away from WWE and started going to AEW. And then when Vince McMahon got caught in that sexual scandal,
Yeah.
that's when he decided, okay, I'm going to step down and let my daughter and my son-in-law, which is Triple H,
Right.
run the thing. And now look what's happening. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon are bringing WWE bringing the ratings back up. They are revamping the show.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of these young kids nowadays, they want to see the violence, the brutality of it all.
All the gruesomeness.
Agree with that.
Just look at Extreme Rules, the ladder match with Bianca Belair and Bayley. When Bianca Belair KO'd Bayley on the ladder.
It's a death.
These younger fans want to see stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, I think older fans want to see that too. I think that they.
With me, I just want to see some good wrestling.
Believable wrestling. Make it look like it hurt.
Where you get in the ring, you shake each other's hands. Then after the match is over with, if you lose, you shake each other's hands again and walk off.
Crown Jewel's coming up, right? That's the next pay-per-view, right?
Well, actually, this weekend is NXT Halloween Havoc.
Halloween Havoc used to be a WCW pay-per-view.
It did, indeed.
Because I can remember Kevin Nash facing Scott Hall at a Halloween Havoc. When Scott
Is that
Hall,
98?
yeah, he was. Scott Hall was in a bad place during that match. Rest in peace, as Scott Hall were with us.
That was one heck of a good wrestler right there, Scott Hall.
Yeah. What did he say? Bad days never last, but bad guys live forever. I think it's what
The bad guy.
the bad guy. He was always
Razor Ramon.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, I got to congratulate Lou's guy. Congratulations to Aaron Judge on hitting 62 home runs, breaking the AL record.
Indeed.
The
Congratulations,
Yankees.
Lou.
The
Thanks.
Yankees are down 1-0 to Houston, but that's because they had to play back-to-back days. That was
Right.
a good turnaround for the
You mean the
Cleveland
cheaters, the Houston cheaters?
Yes. And the trash cans are already out.
Well, I have to ask you guys, what are your thoughts on the Dodgers and the Braves being both
That's
knocked
like,
out?
what the hell?
You have the
Yeah,
Padres.
Well, let's try to put
I'm still,
How
I'm
reasonable
still
Los
scratching
Angeles
my
this weekend?
head over that one because I did not see the who did the Braves play? The Phillies.
The Phillies.
Braves for the Phillies
I
and the
never
Dodgers for the
seen-
Padres.
I would never thought of the Phillies knocking the Dodgers out.
Well, they knocked out the Braves.
Not the Braves.
Braves,
The
I mean,
Dodgers got
I'm
knocked
sorry,
out
the
by
Braves.
San Diego.
same difference at this point. The Padres beat the Dodgers, the Phillies beat the Braves. Yeah, or other way around, it doesn't really matter. They both moved on, you know.
And I'm going to say it on your show, Brad. The World Series is going to come down to Houston and the Yankees.
Yes.
Can't beat Houston and the Yankees are playing each other now.
I'm
Gotta
sorry,
be-
the Padres and Yankees.
Rematch of 99.
Wow,
Huh?
you think they're gonna beat Houston? Really?
Who? The Yankees?
The Astros have a
Yeah.
better baseball team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate to say that, but Houston's the best of the remaining four as far as pitching and hitting.
Unfortunately, yes.
But again,
Overall.
you never know, because if
If
San
Houston
Diego
does do it,
and Philly can knock out Atlanta and LA, anything can happen. So
well,
Yeah.
let's say if Houston does do it, okay, they will do it for Dusty Baker because I'm not.
I want to see Dusty win one. That'd be the only reason why I want to see
Right.
Houston win.
Because we don't know how much longer Dusty Baker's got left as a manager.
Yeah.
I mean,
And Dusty Baker's from Austin.
has San Diego ever won a World Series? Have the Padres ever?
Nope.
Nope.
They've been in one, but they've never won it.
84.
Like Lou said, they've been, but they never won.
And the
It's kinda like
Astros
the
have
Buffalo
won
Bills
one.
in the
The
90s.
Yankees have won 27. Correct me if I'm wrong, Lou.
27. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And
They're kind
then
of like
the
they're
Phillies
kind
have
of like
won
the
what?
Buffalo Bills of the '90s. You know, the Bills went to the Super Bowl 4 times in the '90s and never won.
Right.
How many World Series have the Phillies won?
3.
Three or two?
Mhm.
So the only team that hasn't won a World Series in the Final Four is San Diego. All the other teams
Well,
have
they
won.
won. No, because Philly won back in, well, it was a long time ago. It was like in the 1880s or 1890s, whatever. And then they won back in 1980, and then they won in 2008.
They beat the Rays. They beat
Yeah.
the Tampa Bay Rays in that World Series.
Yeah.
Joey, yeah. Yeah, because that was Roy Halladay was on that team, right?
Mm-hmm.
He passed away here. He crashed his plane.
Okay. Yep.
Plane
Yeah.
crash. But I mean, it's and I'm surprised about that's they're gonna retire his number, right? Did I hear them that they're gonna retire his number 48 finally?
Yes.
Or is it 20?
Long
What
overdue.
number does he wear? He wore 48, right? Is that what number Clemente wore?
Mm-hmm. But it's long overdue.
Or 21? I'm sorry, Clemente wore
21.
Robinson wore 42. That's right. That's what I'm trying to remember. It's half of
Like you were 42.
half of Jackie's jersey. Yeah. Half of Jackie's jersey.
2 titles, 80 and 8 and 08.
88 and 08. Okay.
All right.
All right. So that's when the Phillies. Okay. And Clemente wore 21. Robinson wore 42, right? I think that's
Yep.
Yes.
so it's half of Jackie's jersey. Okay.
Yeah. I guess you should say that.
It's funny how that works out that way, right? Two players that kind of set for their particular, set at standard or were the first in their first of their race to be in the majors or set a precedent, in the major league. So
Mm-hmm.
great to have both. Baseball was great to have both of those guys in.
Yeah.
Better for it.
Yep, absolutely. Well, again, this is the year that next year the bases will be bigger. There'll be a pitch clock. So this was the last year before all that shenanigans happens in Major League Baseball.
I like the bigger bases. I don't think you'll notice the pitch clock.
I think honestly, I think it's been a good playoff. I mean, yeah, it's not
It's been a great
everyone expected to be, but it's been a good playoff.
It's been a great playoff,
The 3
honestly,
game series
in my
is
opinion.
great. And then the 5 game, and now they're having, now the Classic 7 in the NLCS, ALCS, and then of course the World Series if it goes
It's when the
7.
drama happens.
Yeah. Yep.
So they play 3. Should they expand the World Series to 9? Play 3, 5, 7, 9?
They did that once before, but I guess they didn't like that.
Yeah, I know. Back in the day, back in like the early 1900s, they played like 14 games or something stupid like that.
Yeah. Well,
I can imagine playing
in
a
the
9.
second year, there was a 9-game series,
Holy moly.
Yeah.
and they were all day games.
And they played didn't they play all 9 of them? Even though, and whoever played that series, didn't they end up like winning 8-1 or something like that?
Something like that.
You know what? Who knows? You never know. That might happen in the next few years for baseball. They come up with a 9-game World Series. It goes 3, 5, 7, 9. That's the way it's gonna go.
Yeah, no.
So the team has to win 5 games to get
Yeah.
it all.
Yeah.
An odd number.
The owners wouldn't complain anything.
Oh no,
Like
they're
one
all-
more playoff team revenue.
Absolutely, they keep making more money. Right now it is 0-0 in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Now it went to the top of the 3rd. So they
Going in the bottom of the 3rd.
So the Yankees are coming up to bat. And who is pitching? Lou Sereno and who else?
I
Who's
didn't
pitching for
check
the
the
Astros?
matchup, but Verlander pitched last night, and of course he shut us down. I gotta check him when he was on the.
Sereno said something today that wherever the Yankees go, they get booed, but if they come to Tampa, they're fine because there's not enough fans at Tropicana Field. I had to laugh because he was right. That's unfortunate, but he's right. He's right. He's right. So, just saying, he's right. I hate to say that, but he's right. We'll jump, guys, to the National Hockey League. I know we're early in the season.
No better time than right now.
The Rangers beat
Better
us.
time than the present.
The Rangers beat the Lightning in game 1. I was watching the game last week while I was on vacation. But what's your guys' thoughts so far with the NHL? Anything jump out at you as far as is it
Hustle, absolute hustle.
You gotta have that. Although I
They
guess
were,
good to
the
see that?
Devils,
in the
the
National
Devils have
Hockey
been
League.
horrible.
Yeah.
we've been missing that for the last couple of years. Just no drive, no passion, no willingness to back check, forward check, side check, bouncer check. I mean,
Some
Right.
players bounce checks, just a bit.
right. I mean, Evander Kane notwithstanding.
He's still playing, He may have gambling issues, but he's still playing.
Still
So there you go.
Right. Yeah, I'm just in the bouncing a check. But no, I really like that guy we brought in from Tampa. Your guys' assistant coach. His name is escaping me. Derek
I was gonna say
Lulan.
because we have your head coach as one of our assistants now.
Yeah, Uncle Fester. I'm just gonna call him Uncle Fester because
You can call him that. That's what he looks like.
yeah, he looks like Uncle Fester. But I'm loving this guy so far. I absolutely. They had jump in game 1. They looked great. Game 2, their first 30 minutes, they struggled, but then about halfway through the second period, they found something. They found what they needed, and they looked good. Again, they finished strong against the Devils and won. And Monday night, I didn't get to watch the game. I just caught some highlights because I was working late. But they come back to tie the Kings. They took the Kings to overtime in a game that they were expected to lose. And that's funny. They win 2 games they're expected to win, and battle for a point in a game that they're expected to lose. That's all I can ask for at this point, and I'm so happy so far.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see more. This Friday night.
Hey Lou, I honestly, after seeing the Rangers play,
Yes.
I think that they're going to be in the thick of it in the Eastern Conference.
I hope
It's
so,
all
especially
said and
after last
done.
year. They could have won it last year against Tampa, but someone
Gotta
won
feel better.
game 4. Ugh.
But you know, I also, speaking of New York, who I think it might make a comeback this year is the Islanders. Well, watch out for the Islanders.
Yeah, I'm afraid of that.
It'll be. Yeah, I think that'll be. Yeah. I don't know.
The dark horse for me in the East is the Ottawa Senators. There's a
That's
team
dark
that's on
horse,
the
all
up
right.
and up, and the Wings are right there too. They're right on the cusp of being right.
I'm
back.
not looking for I'm not looking for the playoffs. I want to be consistently competitive, game in and game out. I'm. Am I going to turn down a cup? Of course not.
No.
But I want consistency. I want hustle, game in and game out for more
Yes.
than just a month. Let's get into November. Let's get into December. Let's get into the grind, the meat of the season. When everybody's fresh right now. Everybody's jumping. Everybody's got passion, fire in the belly. What happens when we go on a 4-game losing skid? Because those are going to happen. When can we stop the bleeding? How quickly can we stop the bleeding? How quickly can Uncle Fester get the guys back in that winning mindset where those 4-game losing streaks turn into 8 and 10 and 12-game losing streak? Or can we consistently get points in games that we're supposed to lose? And that will be the difference between 7th in the division and a wild card berth. A wild card berth returns Detroit to being a hockey destination. If you play hockey, you want to play in Detroit because Detroit is a perennial powerhouse. Free agents want to come here. We can get back to where we were for the last 25 years.
Yeah.
Right.
Before you went on this epic losing streak. Oof.
It's been incredibly frustrating to watch.
I know.
Rip my heart out each and every game I turn on, and it's like there's no passion, there's no fire, there's no jump. They just go through the motions.
You got nothing.
And then and I finally feel like we've gotten. We played a really good game against Montreal. I didn't watch all that game because I was out celebrating with our friends. Got a new job, was celebrating, hanging out with my friends. Then I watched all of the game against the Devils. And we had a lot of fire, a lot of passion in the second half of the game. Again, I missed the Kings game because I was working, but from what I saw, I had the score pinned on my phone so I could keep an eye on the score. And we kept coming back, took them to overtime. So I'm really happy with where I am 3 games in. Unlike last year where I was ready to do unspeakable things to things.
Derek Lalonde is your head coach. That's Uncle Fester's name. There you go.
Uncle Fester.
The former Lightning assistant got the job there, and then we ended up getting Haschel from you guys, and he came here because him and Cooper are best friends. So that's what I heard. So that's why.
Nepotism never hurt nobody.
Well, he's here. I mean, I was at the game on Tuesday night. We just took the third period off. I mean, plain and simple, we just took the third period off. We made a bad pass in front of Vasilevsky, which then Philadelphia scored the winning goal. Of course, our former head coach was in the building. It is what it is. But, I mean, that's something that Cooper will get cleaned up. It's too early to push the panic button. Tampa, we've been in the last 3 Stanley Cup finals. I'm not going to push.
Well, that's kind of what I'm a big Red Wings fan, as you can tell, but I was reading some of my Red Wings pages. It was like, there were some bad turnovers, a couple of missed plays coming off of a penalty kill or a power play, whatever. And some guys got open and they scored in the Kings game. And it's like, we're only 3 games in. I'm not too worried about it.
No.
There's no team in the league that's played a perfect 180 minutes of hockey. You show me that team, and I'll show you a team that's, take it off easy mode on your Xbox there, bud.
Well, here's my question. They're going to play now. Let's see you play it for 180 minutes come playoff time, because it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Right. 3 straight perfect games?
It doesn't happen.
No.
Doesn't happen. So, I don't think it doesn't
and
happen.
again, again, like I said, it's consistency. I want to be consistently fast, aggressive, forward checking, back checking, side checking, and let's not bounce any checks because that's illegal.
Right.
And we obey the law here on this show.
We could talk about that too. The NFL, I guess at the Commanders game, somebody won the 50-50 raffle and the check bounced.
That's Dan Snyder for you.
There
Yep.
you go. I
Son
swear
of
to
a
God, on
bitch.
radio today on my way to work. So
I didn't say I didn't believe you. I'm just so stunned. That is
we can
that
talk
is
about the NFL
so-
later, but I just thought I'd bring that up with the bounce checks thing. I had to bring that up. I'm like, I gotta talk about it.
that is classic Dan Snyder though, isn't it?
Classic
Yeah.
Washington. Classic Washington Commanders, Redskins, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
Classic.
That-
everything.
I write the check here real quick. Then after he gives them the check, be like, hey, call the bank and put a stop on that check. So
I wouldn't doubt that either. I wouldn't doubt that either.
Stingy ass son of a bitch. I've never liked Dan Snyder.
But
No.
now Dan Snyder's going around saying he's got dirt on Jerry Jones and Robert Kraft.
So
Yeah.
you think they're worried about that? Look at Jim Irsay. Jim Irsay came out and said, if you got dirt, I've already got dirt. I'm an alcoholic. I already admitted that. It already came out. So you can go ahead and
Jerry
I'm an
Jones told,
alcoholic. He admitted to it. So there you
Jerry
go.
Jones told Dan Snyder, bring it.
Yeah, that's why I'm sitting here. You know, if I'm, you know, I know he was out there, you know, acting like Putin. He's got his finger on his nuclear button, right? You know, and he's just waiting. You try to run me out of the league, and I'm taking every one of you mothers with me.
Yeah.
And the rest of the owners are like, yeah, and
Yeah. What are you going to do? You gonna,
yeah, and
So
We're
big
not
go
hurting.
for it, bud.
Jones likes to
Yeah,
go to
I would
massage
say
parlors.
Yeah.
So big deal. Jerry Jones likes to go to massage parlors and get happy endings. Big deal. That's
Robert
between
Kraft
him
just
and his
got
wife.
married to a 40-year-old doctor. So there you go.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you know what's the best part about dating a 95-year-old is? Getting written into the will.
Yeah,
There you go.
very
Hell
true.
yeah, Mama! You put me in your will. I'll be your boy toy.
Very
You
true.
damn straight.
Right.
I'm currently accepting applications for sugar mamas, so
Sure.
get a hold of me after the show and we'll work something out.
Another
Yeah.
league that's just starting up is the NBA. I think it started on Wednesday.
Tuesday.
he
night.
said moving on quickly.
The NBA. Lou, I have to ask you because you know the most out of us four about the national basketball. Who do you like to be in the finals? Clippers, Celtics again, or is it going to be somebody else?
I don't think
I
you're gonna
mean,
see this.
Clippers, I mean Warriors. My fault.
Warriors, I think you'll see in the finals again. The West, the East. It's tough to say right now.
I'm gonna
the West,
I'm going to
The
say
West
Dallas.
The Mavericks.
Yeah.
You think the Suns are gonna collapse again like they did last year? Thanks to your Mavericks, though. Oh boy, that was weird.
That is one of those wait and see situations.
Right.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think just see what Boston's gonna do or the Sixers this year. I'm not
Yeah.
sure yet.
Without their head coach. How are they going to do without their head coach this year?
Hmm.
What about Miami?
Yeah, Miami's. They were there last year. They were in the thick of it
Yeah.
a year ago.
Oh God.
Saints
what
7, Arizona 3.
Yeah, the Saints got a big touchdown. I'm watching on
Yeah,
Amazon.
but the cheaters just hit a home run.
Oh, who hit it? Who hit it?
Altuve?
Altuve.
All right. Altuve.
Altuve, who didn't do anything in the first two. Or
The trash can just hit about 30 seconds ago.
well, aren't they? They're in Houston, right? They're not. They haven't
Yes.
left. Houston. Okay. It
There
used to
it
be called. I
goes.
don't think it's called Minute Maid Park anymore. Isn't it called something else now?
They made
No,
Park,
it's
yeah.
Minute Maid. It's still
So
Minute
Minute
Maid
Maid?
Park.
It used to be
I don't
Enron.
know that.
What he
It used to
said?
be Enron Stadium back in the day until Enron went into the shitter real quick. But
Yeah.
be in.
And they were banging. They weren't banging on trash cans. They were throwing the books in those trash cans and setting them on fire.
Trying to hide them.
Yeah.
Yep. Trying
And
to
of
murder
course-
Astros should be playing in the Toilet Bowl Stadium.
Yes.
You know, I'm over it. It was funny 3 years ago.
Well, it's
I'm
something
so
that
ready to move on.
we just can't let up, especially if you're a Yankee fan. But then again, with the Astros, they just took the money and run.
Yep.
Okay, that was a bad joke. Oh,
Yeah, COVID really killed it for me.
thank
I was really looking forward to watching every Astros game and just watching them get a long line of hit by pitches. But
yeah.
and of course, COVID happens, and so
Well,
then it
even
was
Well,
Doing that.
if you want that, you can do the Marlins and the Braves because they,
oh, the Marlins and the Braves, they don't like each other, do they?
That's exactly my point.
They like each other for a long time. They don't like, no.
They
Well,
don't
it
like-
borders each other. They border Florida, Georgia borders each other. So
Yeah,
Right.
Georgia line.
Although isn't Atlanta like 7 hours from Miami?
oh yeah, it's
Driving, yes.
It's a drive. It's a drive.
Interception
Oh,
in
it's
the end zone by
intercepted.
the Cardinals.
Time to put Jameson. Bench Andy Dalton. Put Jameson.
Yeah.
For all the people that have him on your fantasy team. Put Jameson.
Jameson's hurt.
I think he's out. I think. Well, first of all, the one to watch is Olave, the wide receiver from Ohio State. He's the one that.
Yeah.
So NCAA hockey is also started.
Yes, yes it has. Go Woo. I don't know about Michigan.
and I'm trying to see if I can get to the Frozen Four this year.
Right now, that'd be fun.
It's in Tampa. It's at Amalie Arena, and I'm trying to.
When is that?
It's March, I think. Early March, I think.
Okay.
Might be April. I don't remember when the Frozen Four is. I haven't been in that press box yet, so I'm trying to find a way to get in there. But John Duquette, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. On NGSC, he's Ralph's partner, Garcia's partner. Duchette, thank you, Lou.
Yeah, I'm part of that too.
He told me, he goes, you got 5 months of homework to do because I got to start writing about college hockey. So
Yeah.
tidbits,
read about
guys,
college
if
hockey,
you can
too.
give me any websites, any YouTube channels, let me know. I'm going to go ahead and start getting into watching college hockey on TV.
College hockey is so much fun. But there's nothing better than a good old-fashioned Friday night college hockey game.
I agree. I used to watch Notre Dame on Friday nights back in the day.
I remember back in the 90s getting home on a Friday night from going shopping about 7 o'clock, and there'd be a Michigan, Wisconsin, Michigan State, Michigan, Ohio State, Michigan, Minnesota, Duluth, one of those, and those were always great games. Even if Michigan wasn't a good team, there's still great hockey.
Yeah.
And Michigan's been a pretty good hockey team for a long time.
They're one of the what do they call that?
Blue blood.
Yeah, blue blood programs in college hockey. Along
Absolutely.
with the Minnesotas, the North Dakotas, the Maine, the Bostons, stuff like that.
Yeah, my Maine.
Who's the university in New York that has a great hockey team?
Cornell?
Cornell's got a good team. They're good. Harvard's not a bad team either. Harvard's in Massachusetts, though, right? Harvard's in Mass, right?
Yes,
okay.
Harvard.
That's at Boston.
Yeah.
I thought there was a team that was in New York, a smaller university that was in the Frozen
Cornell?
Four.
Cornell. It's heavy Cornell.
I don't remember who it was, but it was a small team from New York City, or not New York City, but in New York, and they were in the Frozen Four a few years ago. They were the surprise team.
Oh, I know who you're talking about now. God. Was that 2021? Was that last year?
I want to say, but maybe it was the 18 or 19 season. I know they were there. You'd have to look it up. But there was a team from a small university out of New York State, not the city, but out of New York State that was in the Frozen Four. They were the surprise team in the Frozen Four. Brown's in New York, right? Is Brown University, is that in New York or is that in Massachusetts too? I'm not sure where Brown's at.
Brown's in Massachusetts.
Brown's in Mass. Okay.
UMass.
Yeah, UMass. Yeah, that's the Minutemen.
Union, 2014.
There you go. That's the school I was talking about. Union. Thank you. That was the team I was talking about. Okay. Did they win? Did they win it, or they just were in the?
No.
In there?
They won it. They won it all.
They won it. They won the national championship.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Okay, that's the team I was referring to. Union. Okay. And they have like, what is it? I think their school only has like 10,000 kids or 8,000 kids or something like that. It's a very small school in New York, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but they're very small compared to a lot of the schools that are in the blue blood programs, like the Michigans and Michigan States, in college hockey. Did you guys hear, speaking of college, before we get to the college football, Penny Hardaway got signed to a 6-year extension at Memphis. Memphis signed into a 6-year extension. And the top 25, well, the preseason top 25 came out in college basketball. And they have North Carolina, Gonzaga, Houston, Kentucky, Baylor, Kansas, Duke, UCLA, Creighton, Arkansas, Tennessee, Texas, Indiana, TCU, Auburn, Villanova, Arizona, Virginia, San Diego State, Alabama, Oregon, Michigan, Illinois, Dayton, and Texas Tech round out the preseason top 25 in college basketball.
Seton Hall's nowhere to be found.
So that's how they have it lined up. That is CBSSports.com's preseason top 25 in college. When is college basketball starts up? What?
November 7th.
Oh, so within the next couple weeks. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good. And then, well, of course, we all get excited when March rolls around the corner and we get March Madness and get to pick brackets and
warm weather.
Gerald, we always do a bracket on the show, so you're more than welcome to try to figure out if we have a perfect bracket or not when it comes to college basketball. But
my bracket was busted the first day anyway.
We usually do. It usually happens that way. Usually the bracket gets busted on the first day of the tournament.
Oh, y'all talking about March Madness?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We'll get on here and go through it all, and then by the time the second or third day is, none of us have any. We may have one or two teams, but that's about it. So, Bregman.
I won my tournament back in high school.
Bregman's the one who hit the home run, Lou. Alex Bregman, 3-run home run off Suriano in the third. 3-0 Astros over in the top of the fourth with nobody out.
Yeah.
The Yankees are up to bat, though, right?
We should look right now. I haven't gone back much for the Ranger game in this, so.
Oh, I got you.
They had the champion from last year, though. 2021? Or 2022, actually. Kansas City. I have Kansas as the national champion. So, you know what I mean?
So we will jump to college football before we get into what happened last week. I want to read you guys a letter to the athletic director, Michael Kelly at USF. This is written by bullsdisclosure.com. And this is to Michael Kelly. This is after what happened last week against Tulane on homecoming. Here's how it states. This is really, really long. I'm not going to read all of it. I'm going to read the first paragraph. Dear Michael Kelly, we're in a bit of a rough spot, eh? The coach you hired to rebuild USF football has gone 1-24 versus FBS schools. UCF is heading to the Big 12 with five, probably 6 game winning streaks against USF. The men's basketball program, well, never mind on that. Let's give it a chance. They're bad enough with football. We haven't won a road game since before the virus. To make matters worse, the starting quarterback just went down. And if you have not heard, Gary Bohannon is out with a shoulder injury that he suffered against Tulane, and I was there to watch it. To make matters worse, this year, give Jeff Scott even less of a chance win another game this year. So here we sit. Basically, what they're saying is it can't get any worse than it is now. They're not going to win any more games. Is it time to make a change at the head coaching position? That's a question I get asked all the time. My answer to the question is no, because they can't afford to pay his buyout and get the new stadium underground. So Michael Kelly's in a tough spot. Just saying. That's my opinion. It's my opinion, but that's how I feel about it. But yeah, USF hasn't won a road game since before 2020. We won one game this year, but we struggled to get the win. We didn't look. We played, a good quarter and a third before it went to shit real quick last week. We got a bye week this week, and then we're off to Houston, and that's not going to work either. So it is what it is. But that is how some of the USF fans feel, and most of them feel that it's not happening. It's not working, so.
I don't know what to tell you, bub.
I don't know. I don't know the answer either.
Because part of me is like, fire it. Get rid of it. Move on. Start over again. And another part of me is like, well, this will be the third start over since 2014.
Yep. That's
how many times can we keep starting over before we just have to kill the program altogether?
Exactly. Yep. Exactly.
I mean, I am no great shake when it comes to recruiting. I don't know. The problem is that USF is always going to be the ugly redheaded stepchild of Florida. They're far below FIU, FIA, UCF, and when they were talking about how USF has a problem recruiting in Florida. No, they don't. The problem is that none of the kids that they recruit from Florida have any interest in aren't the players that you want to recruit from Florida.
Right.
They had like 93 kids on the roster, and 70 of them are from the state of Florida. Then don't have any problem recruiting in Florida. You get plenty of Florida kids, but unfortunately, it's Florida man's kids. So.
Well, 21 scholarship players are either out for the season or are injured. So that doesn't help causes either. But again, injuries are part of football, so that shouldn't be an excuse. Just saying. That should not be.
I mean, injuries are part of the game.
Yes.
But the problem is that not that they're injured. The problem is that when they're healthy, they stink.
Yeah. Yep. Well, the good thing only good thing that's happened to Jeff Scott this year is he got a lot of good players for the transfer portal. One of them is Gary Bohannon, and obviously now we don't have him because he got hurt. But that was something that happened this year. And,
right.
But again, just like last year, we've had a lot of coulda, woulda, shoulda games. I was there for the Florida game. USF should have won that football game.
And your season, we're having a totally different conversation right now.
Yeah, because now instead of being 1-6, they're 5-1. You flip it around. The only game that they were really out of completely was the Louisville game. So far, I've seen Louisville handed it to them. Other than that, they've been close. Well, the Tulane game, they were close. There's been so many close games this year.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Yeah, coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda. We coulda, we woulda, we shoulda.
And then
how many times can we sit here and say we'll get him next week? How many times can we say give him more time?
And I went to the press conference, post game press conference, and Jeff Kelly had to face the media. We all, most of us asked him questions, and then we interviewed Brad Cecil, who's the center. And same thing. They're frustrated. Obviously after a while, my fellow writer Dexter McCree, good friend of mine. He said, you know what? He goes, after a while, you wonder if they start checking out. Like they're winning, but after they're trying everything they can, they keep losing. So after a while, you start to check out. Like,
just give up.
We're going to win. Are we ever going to win another football game? Am I going to leave my USF career with not one winning season? We didn't go to one bowl game in my tenure.
Right.
I mean, that could happen with some of these kids. So that's the scary part. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have the answer. I don't think they'll win another game this year. I really don't. I hate to say that, but
yeah,
I think if they had Bohannon, they would have had a chance to beat Tulsa and Temple. They're not going to beat UCF at the end of the season. They're not going to beat Houston next week. That's not happening. And SMU, they're not going to beat either. So, not this year. And if they keep Jeff Scott, I don't know how many losses he'll have next year before he gets fired. So,
yeah,
it's going to be a short season next year. But anyway, so last week in the college football, the number one team won 55-0. The upset obviously came with the Alabama-Tennessee game, where Tennessee won at home over Alabama 52-4.